Hi and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to create a dynamic monthly depreciation schedule using straight line method with the help of Power Query and eventually loading it into a pivot table report. So here is my data for the CAPEX, which is the input for our calculation, and on the other sheet, the depreciation sheet, we have here the input date. So here you can input the date and it will display the values of the monthly depreciation, particularly for that specific year. So the date, and then we're gonna pull the year and we're gonna display the depreciation. So let's start this by going back to the CAPEX and put this data into the Power Query. Go to data from table range and then OK. That's the usual. Just rename it as CAPEX first here and make a connection, close and load to, and only create connection, okay. And that's it. Now on the other sheet, the input date, let's select that and go to data from table range, okay. We have headers, and then first rename it as dates. We're gonna have a lot of dates here. And on the input date column here, right click and change the type into date. Replace current, so remove the time here, so just the date, and then add column date and put the start of the year and another column for the end of year. So in here we're gonna create a list of months here, list of dates, and just pulling out beginning of the months of each month. So here we're gonna add column for that, add custom column, and just rename it as list of start of year. So in here, we're going to create a list first by proceeding with a curly bracket. That means a list. And we're going to use number that from because we're going to convert the start of year, the date, into a number first to have a list. And then dot number that from end of year. So a list of start and end of year. And curly bracket. Okay, so that's the list of all the serial numbers from start to end of year. So let's go back to the formula and then transform it using the list that transform formula. And okay, open parenthesis. So that's our list, comma, and then each of that will have start of the month. So we're gonna use date that start of month. Date that start of month. Okay, so the value for that is we're gonna pull out that value from the list using date.from, and the underscore here, that means each row of that list with a curly bracket here, and then close it. That's it. Let's see. So okay, let's go back to this and put an S on the transform, and then okay. Now, this is the list of all the dates, but it's repetitive because it returns the beginning of the month. So let's go back to the formula, double click the added custom here, and then use list.distinct to get the unique values to remove the repetitive dates. And then okay, and that's it. That's the list of each month, beginning of month. So expand that new rows, and that's it. Make a connection for that. Add column, close and load to, and only create connection. Okay. Now let's duplicate the capex. So this is our final table, and rename it as depreciation. And then here, the first thing is to convert the acquisition date into a number, whole number. Change the type, replace current, and then add another column, add custom column for that, because we're gonna compute the end of life of the asset, so the end of the date. So let's call it end of depreciation. And in here, the formula is just the acquisition date plus the useful life in years multiplied by 365 days. Okay, let's put a space. 365 days. Okay, so that's it. So choose the acquisition date and the end of life, and then change the type into date, and that's it. Okay, so that's a date now. So the next thing is to add another custom column. This time we're gonna compute the monthly depreciation amount. So the amount per month. So for that, we're gonna apply the straight line method, just a simple formula of total acquisition minus the salvage value, and then close it, and then divide it into the useful life in years divided by 12 because we're getting the monthly depreciation. So that's it. Okay, 12 months, and we have this monthly amount of depreciation. Now the next step is to again add another cost on column because we're gonna incorporate the dates table here. So no need to rename that. So let's just put cost on and then just call the dates. That's it. Okay, incorporate the table. So here is the table. This is the table. This will be reflected also in this table here. That's the list. Now expand that and OK. So we're getting all the columns from that table of dates. So rename it the input date as a date, and then start of year SOY, end of year EOY, and custom as list SOY, list start of year. So that's it. Now let's put another column for the name of the month. So choose the month here and name of month. Okay, name of month, and that's it. We have another column for the name of the month. So the last column that we will be adding is the changing values of the depreciation. So add custom column, and let's call it as the value, and then let's use the if statement because we wanted to have the date here and the list SOY column to be within the date of acquisition and also the end of depreciation. So within that date alone. So to do that, we're going to use if and end statement. So I'm writing the and if this date here, the column is greater than or equal to the acquisition date, and the date again is less than or equal to the end of depreciation, not the salvage value. It should be end of depreciation. And then end again if the list SOY, the beginning of month, is greater than or equal to the acquisition date. And also end again, this list is less than or equal to the end of depreciation, then that should have the amount of depreciation, else null. Okay, so that's it. That's the value. We're now complete here. Let's go to the Home tab, close and load to. And in here, we're going to choose Pivot Table Report. Choose existing worksheet. Let's just put it here in cell A6. Okay, and then let's arrange it. Now for the rows, we're going to put the asset here. And for the columns, the name of the month. Okay, so that's it. Now for the values, let's choose the value. And that's it. That's our report here. So let's fix it into a number. Okay, and then let's rename this for the sum of value. Let's just have value for that. So control H and then sum of, then leave it with nothing, replace all. Okay, and then for the column labels, replace it with months. Okay, and then for the row labels, replace it with capex. Replace all. Okay, and that's it. Now let's check it. So for assetting, we have this in the capex sheet, acquisition date of October 28, 2021. So let's say it's before the acquisition date. The input is before the acquisition date. It's October 27. And then go to data and refresh all. That should have no depreciation. So that's correct. Now it is on the date of acquisition. Refresh all. Then it has a value here for November, December. Because the rule here is on the month of purchase, the depreciation will start on the other month. So that's it. That's correct here. Now it is like let's change it into another date like 2022. Refresh all. That should have complete depreciation for the period. So the end is for 3 years, that's 2024. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2024. So let's say it's within that 9 and 24. Refresh all. So here you can see that the end of depreciation is in October. No depreciation on November, December. Let's say it's after the date of the end of life, so that will be nothing on here. That's the same thing with other assets. Yeah, that's it. Now let's change this into 23, refresh all. That would have complete numbers. So let's test it by adding another capex asset K. Let's say one quantity worth 2 million. Just multiply quantity by the unit cost, and then economic life is just 2 years, and acquisition will be August 15, 2021, and salvage value is 200,000. So that's the input. Now let's check it, refresh all. So that's the asset here. So let's check the date on the acquisition. I mean, on the acquisition date, that should have depreciation on September after the month of purchase. So that's okay. Now, if it is like May after the year of 2021, so 2022, that's complete. If it is like January of 23, okay, then you will see here that it will end on August, month of August. So I'm finished here, I'm done. If you like this video, you can subscribe in my channel, click the subscribe button, and see you next time, and thanks.